So I did my degree in performance and script writing, and I developed skills in marketing alongside this, as well as public speaking and networking. And from that, I've worked in a bunch of small startups and small and medium-sized businesses, mostly working on their marketing, helping to revamp websites, writing articles and blogs, videoing vox pops, and just running their social media. I've been jumping around industries. I've worked in recruitment, pharmaceutical startup. I've worked in the charity sector. I'm a big champion of transferable skills as the main thing that I look for in a job listing. I don't confine myself to an industry. I basically go, well, can I do that job? I'll learn later what the details are of that sales role or the product or the company culture. First of all, I look at the postings and I go, is that realistic given my disability and my skills? I look at the marketing and the branding of the company to say, will I be at home there as a queer person? And I just have to interact with the jobs market in a really specific way. Of course, as someone with a non-visible disability, I have to be very mindful of my health. I have to be very mindful that I've taken too many steps that day, or I need to eat something more calorific in order to keep my health up for the next working day. So I've got to be really flexible around when I take my lunch and what I do on my lunch. So one of the things I've had to do is really enforce a boundary in when I'm taking my lunch. I shouldn't be doing any work in there. I want to. I love to get stuff done and go home early, but I do need to take that lunch break. And if I need to sit in silence, if I need to put on some headphones and just be with myself, if I need to have a couple of extra drinks or an extra coffee or 3 meal deals instead of 1 that day because I'm really on an energy crash and I just need to look after my body, I need to keep giving myself that space to check in and do what's best for me physically, so that I can go back to my work after lunch break and keep producing the content that I'm there for. Again, every job I've had has been a slightly different culture in a slightly different industry. So some of the highs are really specific. Like sometimes you'll mentor someone in the charity sector and you'll just see their confidence grow and you're just like, wow, what I'm doing in the day-to-day is so important. I've made a material difference on someone's life. Other times you're hitting quotas and you're thinking, you know what, I'm great at this. Just all of those different ways that employment can just make you feel important, and also where weird skills I've learned come up. So I used to do a lot of video making while I was at UBA. And I'll just be there going, da, 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 I'm writing some blogs, and they go, can you make a GIF? And I'm like, well, okay, I'll record the office and I'll turn that into a GIF. Or whatever strange abstract skill I have suddenly feels like it saves the day, or it just makes what I'm doing the work that bit better. I just love when things click. But also, when it comes to my disabilities and not having reasonable adjustments, I have felt pushed out of the workplace in the past by employers who have not given me any reasonable adjustments. It's things where I'm writing tweets and articles, I'm doing website design, and I have all my logins. And once I get to work anyway, no one would talk to me because I've got a really specific job. I keep my head down. I'm not working collaboratively with anyone. And when I've said I'm really struggling with my health, I can't eat enough or sleep enough or take enough painkillers to keep getting to work, to do good work. If I didn't commute just a couple of times a week, I could keep producing excellent content. And they've said, nope, we don't do remote working. And I've had to go, well, then I can't work here, because either I'm going to turn up and just pretend to work because I'm really ill, or I'm going to quit. I don't like presenteeism. I don't like turning up and not doing my job. I like to be proud of what I achieve. I like to be proud of the work I do. And if I need some adjustments like remote working or flexible hours, if I need the ability to extend my lunch break and stay a bit later so that I've worked the same number of hours, if I need that, that's what I need. And I don't think it would be a hardship on employers to let me have that. But there have been some employers who don't want to allow it. And I've had to say, okay, then this is not where I'm going to stay for years and years. Even though I could at times really see myself loving a culture in the workplace and really enjoying my colleagues and really enjoying the work. And it's just so disappointing that I've come across these attitudes that have pushed me out of the workplace. Depending on what types of reasonable adjustments you're after or what you will need, I think it's from there that you really know which jobs and which sectors and which employers will have you. I've applied for a bunch of jobs and interviews have gone really well. And then I've said to them, what's the likelihood of flexible working? For instance, I work 4 days a week, but I pick which 4 and I tell you in advance. And I'm able to therefore balance my needs as a disabled person. And then I've had employers just switch off in the interview and I've gone, right, okay, this employer is not amenable to having disabled people on their team. And it's tough to get rejection, not because you're not skilled or you can't do it, but because you're perceived as not trustworthy or not capable because you have needs. So I think, first of all, it's, yes, looking at job postings, looking at what you think you can do, looking at what you would like to do, but then have a little snoop at the company websites, have a snoop on LinkedIn, and see if any of the people currently working there are openly disabled. Because if you've got someone who's working in an office and they use a wheelchair, I would feel so confident going in and being like, right, I can use my walking stick here and not have to leave it at home so that I'm not seen as not capable.